On a cold December evening, 10-year-old Oliver trudged home from school, his breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. Unlike other children, he didn't rush home with excitement. Since his father had passed away a year ago, the house had become quiet, and his mother had to work double shifts just to keep them afloat. Most nights, Oliver spent alone, with only the sound of the ticking clock in their small apartment keeping him company. As he turned the corner of an empty street, a faint whimper caught his attention. He stopped, listening. Another whimper. He followed the sound and found a small, scruffy dog curled up near a dumpster. The dog was shivering, its ribs visible beneath matted fur, and its big brown eyes looked at Oliver with a mixture of fear and hope. Oliver hesitated. He had always wanted a dog, but his mother had said they couldn't afford one. Yet something in the way the dog looked at him tugged at his heart. Slowly, he knelt beside it. "Hey, little guy," he whispered. "You must be freezing." The dog flinched but didn't run. Oliver carefully unwrapped his scarf and draped it over the trembling creature. To his surprise, the dog let out a soft sigh and buried its nose in the warm fabric. That's when Oliver made his decision. "You're coming with me." Oliver carried the dog home, sneaking it into his small bedroom. He grabbed an old blanket, making a bed in the corner. The dog curled up immediately, exhausted. After rummaging through the fridge, Oliver found some leftover chicken and placed it in front of the dog, who ate hungrily. "I think I'll call you Shadow," he whispered, stroking its head, "because you followed me home like one." Shadow let out a soft sigh and rested his head on Oliver's lap. For days, Oliver kept Shadow a secret. He would hide bits of food from dinner and rush home after school to check on him, but he knew he couldn't keep Shadow hidden forever. One evening, as Oliver's mother came home from work, she noticed something odd, a wagging tail peeking out from under Oliver's bed. "Oliver," she said in a warning tone. His heart pounded. "Mom, please. He has nowhere to go. I'll take care of him. I promise." She sighed, looking at the small, helpless creature. Her eyes softened, but she shook her head. "Oliver, we can't afford a dog. But I'll do extra chores. I'll use my allowance for his food." There was a long pause before she finally nodded. "All right, but he's your responsibility." Oliver hugged her tightly. "Thank you, Mom. I promise I'll take care of him." Days turned into weeks. Shadow grew stronger, his once dull fur turning soft and thick. He followed Oliver everywhere, to school, to the park, even waiting outside the grocery store when Oliver ran errands. At night, he curled up beside Oliver's bed, his steady breathing lulling the boy to sleep. Oliver's mother, though hesitant at first, began to warm up to Shadow. She started sneaking him little treats, and soon she was greeting him after work with scratches behind the ears. Shadow had become part of their family. One stormy night, Oliver woke to Shadow's frantic barking. Lightning flashed through the window, illuminating the dog's worried expression. "What is it, boy?" Oliver murmured sleepily. Shadow ran to the door, barking louder. Then Oliver smelled it. Smoke. His stomach dropped. He bolted up and ran to his mother's room, shaking her awake. "Mom, there's a fire." She sat up, eyes widening as she smelled it too. Rushing to the door, they saw the orange glow of flames spreading through the hallway. Their only exit was blocked. Panic set in. The smoke was thick, making it hard to breathe. Then Shadow sprinted past them, disappearing into the kitchen. "No, Shadow!" Oliver screamed, coughing. Seconds later, Shadow returned, dragging a damp towel in his mouth. He ran to the window and barked wildly. Oliver's mother grabbed the towel, wrapped it around her hands, and shattered the window. Cool air rushed in. One by one, they climbed through, just as the fire consumed their home behind them. Sirens wailed in the distance. Neighbors rushed out, helping them to safety. Oliver clutched Shadow tightly, tears streaming down his face. "You saved us," he whispered. The firefighters managed to put out the flames, but their home was gone. Everything they owned had turned to ashes. Yet, as Oliver sat outside, wrapped in a borrowed blanket, he felt strangely grateful, because they had each other. In the following days, the community rallied around them. People donated clothes, food, and a temporary place to stay. One of the firefighters, having heard Shadow's heroic actions, approached Oliver. "That dog has instincts," he said. "He's special. If you'd like, I can help train him as a rescue dog." Oliver's eyes lit up. "Really?" The firefighter nodded. "He saved you. Now he can learn to save others." Oliver looked at Shadow, who wagged his tail as if he understood. "Yeah, he really is special." Months later, life began to rebuild itself. With help from the town, Oliver and his mother found a new home. Shadow, now a trained rescue dog, was celebrated as a hero. But to Oliver, Shadow wasn't just a hero. He was his best friend, and he had proved that sometimes, when you save a dog, they end up saving you right back.